Welcome to Grandmother's Kitchen.
Today, we're going to make Grandmother's yummy double crust apple pie. Begin by cutting, quartering, and peeling your apples. In this case, we use 2 types of apples. Once peeled, cut them into slices and then cut them again into smaller quarters. Set them aside in a bowl with a little bit of lemon juice so they don't go brown. In a small bowl, mix together 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of flour. Also have ready 1½ tablespoons of butter. Mix these into your cut apples and set aside. At this point, also cut in the butter. Place 5 tablespoons of cold water into the freezer so that it can cool even more for 10 minutes. To make a pie crust, you will need a clean flat surface. To know what size to roll the crust, just be sure that it's bigger than your pie plate. Sift 1½ cups of all-purpose flour into a bowl with 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Cut in 3/4 of a cup of butter into the flour with a pastry cutter. You want it to look like coarse cornmeal. A tablespoon at a time, use a fork to mix in the cold water until it is just incorporated. It's okay if you see specks of butter and flour in the mixture and it's not entirely smooth. Use clean hands to form the dough into a ball. Now cut it into 2 pieces and place one in a bowl covered with a clean dish towel so it does not dry out. Sprinkle flour onto a clean work surface and keep some extra flour handy in case you need more. Flatten the ball into a disc and pushing from the center with a rolling pin, make a circle or close to a circle. Gently transfer the dough onto a pie plate, being careful not to stretch it. Add the filling and prepare the top crust. Now we'll repeat to make the second crust. Again by sprinkling our flour, flattening the disc, and rolling out into a circle. Carefully transfer this piece of dough onto your pie. And trim away any of the long edges. Tuck the edges in, tucking them underneath the pie. Using the technique shown, crimp the edges to make it look prettier. Be sure to cut some air holes into the top of the pie to let the steam escape. Place the pie in an oven that's been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for 15 minutes and then turn down the heat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for another 30 minutes or until it's golden brown. If the pie is browning too much, you can tent it with aluminum foil. Once baked, remove from the oven and put onto a cooling rack to cool to room temperature.